Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. Japan responded positively to the chip restrictions imposed by the United States on China at the beginning, one step earlier than the Netherlands, and the restrictions were more severe. But recently, things have taken a big turn. Japanese companies have begun to frantically purchase mature processed chips from China. What is going on? Everyone knows that the United States has been restricting China's chips for a long time. In the past 4 years, they have tried every means to obstruct China's development of high-end chips. Seeing that Biden is about to step down, he still wants to expand the chip restrictions on China in a limited time to regain some face. Not only did he launch a 301 investigation on China's mature processed chips, but he also began to dump mature chips to the mainland at low prices. It stands to reason that the United States allies should follow suit to restrict China, right? The Netherlands has announced that it will further expand the scope of export controls on semiconductor-related items, but there has been no movement on the Japanese side. Instead, there has been news of a large number of mainland chips purchased. What is this Japanese company singing? It turns out that those Japanese chip sellers initially planned to promote Japanese chips or Taiwan chips to the mainland market in order to make some high profits. Companies like Restar and Ryerson originally planned this. However, as the United States continues to expand the scope of chip restrictions, it is becoming increasingly difficult for them to export high-end chips and equipment to the mainland. Now Japanese companies are worried that they can't sell high-end chips, so what should they do? They thought about it and came up with a solution: sell their own or purchased mature processed chips to the mainland. However, when they inquired, they found that this idea was not feasible at all. Why? Because the mainland market has enough mature processed chips of 28 nanometers and above. Not only can it be self-sufficient, but it has also begun to export a large number of them abroad. In the first 11 months of 2024, the export amount exceeded the trillion-yuan mark. Japanese companies originally thought that the mainland market had a large demand for mature processed chips, and they could make a fortune, but they found that they had no share at all. What should they do? They soon realized that the mainland has already led the world in the manufacturing level of chips with mature processes of 28 nanometers and above. Isn't it a wise choice to purchase more cost-effective mature processed chips from the mainland for use in the Japanese domestic market? With this in mind, Japanese companies began to take action. They changed from selling chips to the mainland to purchasing chips from the mainland. They purchased a large number of mature processed chips from the mainland for use in Japan's domestic automobile, home appliance, communication, and consumer electronics industries. In this way, not only can costs be reduced, but the competitiveness of Japanese products can also be improved. Aren't Japanese companies afraid that the United States will be unhappy if they do this? In fact, they are like a mirror in their hearts. The US sanctions policy is mainly aimed at high-end chips. Their purchase of mature processed chips from the mainland will not violate the US control policy. If the United States finds out and asks to ban purchases, they will also obey. After all, Japan is very active in cooperating with the United States to implement chip restrictions. Back then, Japan was one of the best in semiconductor equipment and materials. Take photoresist for example. Japan once monopolized 90% of the global market. In 2021, they stopped exports to China on the grounds of insufficient supply. However, in recent years, the United States has continued to increase restrictions on China's chips, and Japan has also reached a tripartite agreement with the United States and the Netherlands. After that, Japan quickly revised the relevant regulations and took the lead in announcing export controls on cutting-edge semiconductor equipment, etc. ahead of the Netherlands. Japan's restrictions on manufacturing equipment are even stricter than those of the United States and the Netherlands. Take the lithography machine for example. The Netherlands has left a backdoor for its company ASML to ship older models of DUV lithography machines. But Japan has directly set very strict restrictions, resulting in Nikon not being able to ship even the old immersion DUV. Japanese companies cooperated with the United States to restrict China. But unexpectedly, things in the world are unpredictable and change too fast. Now it is the turn of Japanese companies to purchase a large number of mature process chips from China. What does this show? It shows that China's chip manufacturing level and production capacity have been greatly improved. China can not only meet its own needs, but also export them abroad. This is really exciting news. You know, the chip industry is not so easy to develop. It requires a lot of capital, technology and talent investment, as well as a long R&D cycle and complex production processes. But the Chinese are not afraid of difficulties, and have achieved such brilliant achievements in just a few years. Behind this are the hard work and selfless dedication of countless Chinese researchers and entrepreneurs. They work day and night in the front line of scientific research and production workshops for the development of the country's science and technology and the chip industry. Their efforts and sweat have brought China today's pride and pride. Therefore, China must cherish these hard-won achievements and opportunities. China must continue to increase its investment in research and development and talent training, and continuously improve China's chip manufacturing level and production capacity. China must also strengthen international cooperation and exchanges, learn from foreign advanced experience and technological achievements. Only in this way can China gain a firm foothold in the global chip industry. Finally, I want to say one thing: China's chip industry cannot rely on the outside at all. China must build its own independent chip industry chain. Only when we have strength can we get rid of external dependence. Only then can we completely break the chip bottleneck problem of the United States and the West. The Chinese people are ambitious and have backbone. China will definitely be able to create a better future with its own hands and wisdom.